Hello and welcome back, Fencers. Thank you for tuning in. My name is Chris, also known as the Fence Child, and I'm happy to be here to bring you a place to share your story and be part of ours today. A fine toot-toot-oo to you as well. What's up, Mashi? Clyde, what's going on?
I've come up with a new recipe.
A new recipe. What's going on, everybody?
Yoo-hoo.
We're here, Ghosty. Yoo-hoo. We're here an hour early today. Holy crap, what's going on? What does it mean? Yeah, I'm glad to hear that you're doing good, Clyde. I am too. It's a hype day, man. It's a hype day, even though it's like super gloomy outside. Like, that part sucks. But we're not gloomy in here, man. We're vibing. All right, we're gonna get the energy up. We're gonna have a great time. We're gonna kill this guy right here. We're gonna request some music today, and we're gonna play some community video games, man. It's gonna be a good time. Gloomy weather's my kind of weather. Well, then you're in the right place, doubly so, Clyde. Hell yeah, take it from me. Take it from me, because I don't need it here right now. Foul, what's up? Hello, it's so good to see you. Welcome back. Happy, what's today? Wednesday. I almost said Monday, which is telling, isn't it? It's Wednesday. It's very Wednesday. I hope you're having a beautiful day. Hero, what's up, dude? SW, what's going on? Hell yeah, well, you can take some of my overcast life too, man. You can totally take it. I don't need it today. You know, throw in some wind and we're golden. I'm okay, I'm down with the wind though. All right? I come from a very windy place, so I am down with that. But yeah, we're gonna have a good time today. It is day 8 of our Guild for the Kupo event, which, believe it or not, these weeks feel like they've flown by, but believe it or not, we are only 2 streams away from being done with this event. It's wild. Tomorrow's the last day of it. Can you believe it? Holy smokes. It's been a wild ride so far. And you know what, though? We're not going to count our chickens just yet, okay? Or our chocobos, SW, all right? We've still got plenty of hype in the chamber. We're going to have a nice time playing Fall Guys today. If you would like to join in the fun in Fall Guys, we're going to start up here probably in about 15 minutes to give us an hour to play the game before trivia. And then after trivia is over, we're going to turn on game tickets for the rest of the stream. We'll also turn on song requests during Fall Guys. So fun stuff to look forward to. Song requests will still be live during trivia as well. And yeah, our final trivia game for this event is going to be at 6 p.m. today. If you're new to the event, we're doing Final Fantasy and Kingdom Hearts trivia. So if you like those franchises, come hang out with us. Earn some bonus gil that you can use to spend throughout the rest of this event. And yeah, it'll be a really good time. There'll be 20 questions to answer. We're all going to kind of go head to head. And even if you don't know diddly about the series, you can still play. And it's good that you do, because you'll get that gil just for participating in the game, regardless of whether you do well or not. So join in. It'll be a pretty good time. And then, yeah, we're just going to vibe for the rest of the day and see where it takes us. I know that y'all probably have some game tickets that you're thinking of purchasing later in the show. It'll be first come, first serve, and each game ticket lasts for an hour, okay? So take advantage of that stuff here a little bit later.
Don't count your chocobos until they are in the pot, or oven, or on the grill, or in the deep fryer, or in the sous vide bag.
Man, why you gotta do me like that? Why you gotta do me like that, SW? Okay? I don't want them in any of those things, all right? Chocobo in the stable. Chocobo in my house. Chocobo on the streets because they're fast, all right? Not in my tummy, not on my grill. All right? We got a new question of the day today, chat. And we do every single day that we're live. You know this. You know this. So keep coming back. See what all the buzz is about. Today I'm asking everybody a viewer question of the day. And this one comes from our very own Chameleon Karma. And they're asking us, if you could give one piece of advice to your younger self or someone going through the same things you did, what would it be? Very thoughtful question. Almost feels like Thursday. But we're talking about that all throughout the show today, so feel free to share your response. And type in !A and then your response to make sure that your QOD gets logged. Okay, you're going to want to do this from now on. It's always going to work. Make sure you do !A and then your answer. Otherwise, I mean, we'll do our best to keep up with it, but it might get missed if chat's moving and stuff like that, you know? So, yeah. Feel free to talk about that today. How does Song Request work today? Song Request is working. It's not on yet. It'll be on whenever we move to Fall Guys. So the way that'll work is you type in !SR, and then you can either type in the song title and artist name, and it'll automatically search for it on YouTube. Or if you go to the video that you're looking for on YouTube specifically, I'll just kind of show how it works here. So let's see. I don't know. We're gonna look here. If you wanted to play Heavy is the Crown, right? Say we're here. We're not gonna play this, but if you wanted to request Heavy is the Crown, then you would type in !SR in the chat, and you're going to copy and paste this guy up at the top. All right? This thing that's after the equal sign is your video tag. And that'll make sure that you get the correct video pulled for the song request. Okay? So yeah, 2 ways to do it. Song title, artist name, or grabbing this little guy right here, putting it in after SR. Each song request costs 1,500 gil. So check your wallets before you request songs. And know that Song Request is not active currently, so I'll let you know whenever it's turned on, and then, yeah, you can just have fun with it for the rest of the show. All right. Okie dokie, let's come back over here. To be honest, gonna try real hard to not put more than 2 or 3 in at a time, because it's the last day and all that. Oh, that's mighty considerate of you, SW. Mighty considerate of you. Yeah, we can put an endless amount of songs in the queue, only 5 per person in the queue at a time. But yeah, this will be the last song request day of the event. This is not something we do often because of DMCA rules and stuff like that, but we used to do it, and I wanted to bring it back for this event specifically. It's worked out for us so far. But we're not going to keep pushing our luck after this week. All right, so in the interest of time, we are going to dive right into question of the day responses. All right, let's see what we got. I've seen a bunch of them coming in. Don't forget that you get 10,000 gil just for answering the question of the day, too. So if you're looking for some bonus gil, this is a great way to get it, my friends. We're going to kind of work backwards here, but I see that we got a response from Hero of Time. And Hero says, I would give my younger self the advice not to listen to people that hate someone. A little bit of context. I did that once and lost a very good friend of mine due to it. As for advice, I would give, listen very carefully and reconsider actually doing it, because actions can have consequences. Yeah, man. So it sounds to me like you might have listened to somebody that had a negative opinion of somebody else, and their negative opinion kind of influenced the way that you felt about that someone. Is that right? And I've been in that position, and I am somebody who's like historically been pretty easily influenced. Like, I am the gullible one of my friends, right? I'm a critical thinker and all that, but I'm like really empathetic, really compassionate. And so because of that, like I tend to take people at face value initially. In most contexts, I've learned over the course of my life where that works better and where it doesn't, and where to be more cautious. But there's a lot of times where that's my default mode, right? And this has also gotten me into some trouble in some situations kind of like this too. So I can really respect what you're saying here, Hero. And I'm sorry to hear that you lost a friend over this, man. That sucks. It's a tough lesson to learn for sure. But a lesson well learned nonetheless, because you're here sharing this with us now. And if you could tell yourself this advice in the past, you know that it would benefit you. So you'll be able to carry that wisdom for the rest of your life. And that's great. We really do have to make our own assessments of people, right? People have their opinions, but doesn't mean that we have to see the same stuff in people that they do. And even if we do, we're not going to see it exactly the same way. So it's really good to formulate our own thoughts and our own opinions on matters especially when it comes to our relationships, right? It's okay if people don't like the people that we like, and vice versa, you know? Doesn't have to always just be like everybody likes everybody, you know? It'd be nice, but, you know, it doesn't have to be that way. So, you know, take everything with a grain of salt whenever people are sharing opinions. Even me, you're hearing me say this right now. Don't take me for gospel, okay? Think about what I'm saying and see how it applies to you and if it applies to you. Thanks for your response, Hero. I appreciate you, buddy. Karma, what's up, dude? The man of the hour. Hey, thanks for an excellent question of the day, my friend. This is a good one. We got some cool responses coming in already. All right, let me backtrack here. Let's see. Mashi answers the question of the day, and they say, I wouldn't. It's simple as that. Advice for me mostly doesn't work unless I learned said advice from other people. But if you learn said advice from other people, Mashi, you could still apply that, right? Like you could share that advice with other people, and then for whoever gets it from you at that point, that advice is still coming from you, right? For all intents and purposes, right? You know where you got it from, but everyone else might not know. Past you might not know. Thanks for sharing your response, man. Let's see. Clyde answers the question of the day. And they say, I'd tell myself to do whatever the heck I want, but also go back to drawing. Yeah. Heck yeah. I love it. Do what makes you happy. You're such a good encourager of this philosophy. I see you in the Discord all the time telling people to do what it is that they love and don't let other people's opinions sway them from that. As long as it's not hurting you or somebody else, right? Do what you like. Do what you like. There's strong merit in that. And I think that we learned this after we shoot ourselves in the foot and shut our own ideas down, or, you know, let other people's opinions get in the way of what it is that we enjoy, because maybe they don't enjoy it and they might judge us for enjoying it or something like that, right? We're trying to fit in. But enjoy what you enjoy, do what you love, and just be yourself. And keep drawing, yeah. Thanks for your response, Clyde. Yeah, man, I love your art, by the way. I'm glad that you still work on it. Was there ever a time that you felt like you gave up on it, or you didn't, for factors outside of yourself? You're awesome. I'm just gonna keep doing it. If you tell me to stop, I'm just gonna keep doing it because I'm disrespectful like that. I'm kidding. Nah, but for real, you do great work. Fun fact: I commissioned some art from Clyde not too long ago. It's fantastic, by the way. But the reason I haven't shared it with any of y'all yet, as excited as I am to, is because I have plans for it. And we're gonna do a little something with it. And I think that I'm gonna give you guys an opportunity to get your hands on a physical copy of this piece, provided I have Clyde's blessing for that as well. But yeah, it should be really cool. It's very awesome. It's very neat, man. But yeah, it'll be really cool. All things in due time. We're working on this event right now. I probably already said too much, but moving forward with these question of the day responses, we got some good ones, man. We got some good ones. Well, someone hand Clyde some tissue. Wait, do I have any? I have a glasses cleaning cloth. Can you use this? It's think of your peepos as glasses, and you just, you know, see it? Looking good. It's all better. All right, my friends. We got some more question of the day responses. Jenny answered the question of the day today, saying, this one is simple. Advice that I'd wish I'd learned earlier. Keep calm and focus on what you can control, what you can control. Yeah, that's really good advice. That's excellent advice at any stage of our lives, because there's so many times where we're like, oh my God, I don't have control of this situation, and we panic and we freak out about it. and it gets really stressful and we beat ourselves up for it, you know? Like we're really quick to take responsibility for things that aren't ours to take responsibility for when we are having expectations of ourselves. But sometimes there's stuff that's out of our control. There's stuff that's beyond us. And all we can do is control the way that we respond in that environment, right? Just keeping calm and focusing on what you can control. Sounds simple, and it's easier said than done, but it is very sound advice. And it's advice that I have to give myself on a regular basis. And I tell you, Jenny, I'm not always good at taking it. It's not always easy, right? But it is sound advice nonetheless. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, it's super handy. Oh my God, Reeps! Reeps, what's up, dude? You can't find your TV remote. Oh my God, who stole his remote? Who stole? Was it you? Was it you? Did you do it? You know who I'm talking to. Give him his remote back. Give it back. Give it back, and he might give you Doritos. He's got them. I know. Okay? Reeps is a very forgiving guy. He'll hook you up if you hook him up. I mayhaps. It was Clyde all along. All right, let's see what else we got. All right, we got one. I know I saw another one here. Where did it go? Where did it go? I'll double check here. All right, so we got one from Fao. And Fao answers the question of the day, which, just as a refresher, it is, if you could give one piece of advice to your younger self or someone going through the same things that you did, what would it be? And this is a viewer question of the day that comes from Chameleon Karma. Okay? And Fao answers the question by saying, it's okay. It's not your fault. You are safe and you will bloom. It'll be hard, but you'll enjoy life again. Oh man, my heart aches reading your response, knowing where you've been or where you may have been and why you may need to hear this advice in the past. But also, like, just can't help but commend you for your resilience and strength of heart and being able to think about this and want to say this to yourself too. It is so beautiful, just like you. And I know that you've gotten to experience this firsthand where you have seen that things can and do get better and you can enjoy life again, even if it's hard, even if it's hard. And that doesn't mean that it's always going to stay that way, but you can always get back to there, right? Even if you fall off again, you can build back up and climb out of that hole. It's so beautiful, Fao. Thank you for sharing. It's a great response. I've had to tell myself this a lot too. There were definitely times in my life where I was like, dude, there's no way I'm going to get out of this. This is my life forever. This is how I'm going to feel forever. And it feels so hopeless, man. You're in those situations. Things feel, seem so bleak. Everything seems like it's just going to suck. And, those little lights that you find in those moments are super duper bright because everything is so dark. And sometimes those lights are coming from other people. Sometimes those lights are coming from yourself. A lot of times it's hard to find them in yourself because they're clouded by so much darkness, but they are there and they give us something to grab onto whenever we are able to see them so that we can get through to the other side. And that's where people come in. That's where we all come in, right? We support each other. We reach out to people, let people know that they're loved and they're cared for. We can't fix everything for everybody, but at the very least, we can be a tiny glimmer of hope for them in those dark moments. And I think so many of us have experienced that in some way, and that's why we're still here, why we're still here. Again, thanks, Fao. I appreciate you sharing. So I read something that was a little weird. Bot stuff. SW answered the question of the day. And SW said, being afraid is temporary. Embrace safe levels of fear because the things you lose will be far worse than what you are afraid of. I want to read that again. Being afraid is temporary. Embrace safe levels of fear because the things you lose will be far worse than what you are afraid of losing. what I'm getting from this is if you embrace the safe levels of fear, it's like understanding that fear is a real human emotion. It's one that's going to happen. We're going to experience. You can't avoid it. So it's just a part of life, right? So embracing safe levels of fear, because the things that you lose if you don't do that can be worse than what you were initially afraid of. Am I interpreting that correctly, SW? In other words, we can be our own worst enemy whenever we get wrapped up in fear and anxiety and let that kind of dictate the way that we live our life. Life requires a little bit of courage, you know? We've got to be brave. We've got to try. And we've got to put ourselves in situations that seem scary, but allow us to find those opportunities that we're looking for. I agree 100%. And I could totally see how that would apply in your life too. Thank you for sharing the personal advice, and to anybody else who might be going through similar things to you. Always appreciated. You guys are smart cookies. You're smart. You're emotionally intelligent as well. These are tough things to realize. A lot of these that you guys are saying are like realizations that we get to after a lot of trials and tribulations, you know? Like we've gone through some stuff to make these realizations. And it doesn't come easily. I know that so many of us here have been through some tough times. And I just want to say, just because we're kind of having this all on the brain right now, I don't know about you, but I'm thinking about a lot of the stuff that I've been through and what I would say to my past self and why. And it kind of reminds me of some things that are really difficult. Some things traumatic, some things poor choices I made or mistakes that I might have made that if I could do it again, I would try to do better knowing what I know now. If your mind is going in there to those places today, I want you to know that you're not alone. We're here with you, okay? And I want you guys to give yourselves a nice round of applause, a pat on the back, a pat on the head. Sometimes we like the head pats too, you know? And we deserve a cheer every once in a while. You know, we work hard to be who we are. We work hard to get right here so that we could talk about this topic today. You have been through hardships and overcome. So be proud of who you are. Be proud of where you've been and how you made it to now. Okay? Because not just anybody could do that. You do that. You did it. Deserves a little celebration. Head pats are always good, you know? SW said, yeah, I've spent so many years worried about the worst case that opportunities, partners, chances to escape from this hell all slipped away because I couldn't rationally talk myself into taking a safe jump. This is reminding me of a discussion that we were having a few streams back when we were talking about like taking leaps of faith, right? They're scary as hell, because especially if we don't know what's going to happen. But so often taking those leaps of faith can come with heavy rewards and big opportunities for us to improve our lives. And as such, a lot of times they are worth taking, even if we don't really know how they're going to turn out. We will once we do that, and then we can figure out how we're going to respond there. One thing we know for sure is what right now feels like, right? We know that for sure because we're here. We're in it. We've been here. Sometimes we become comfortable with what is uncomfortable, and we're more willing to stay in the known that we're not happy with just because we know what it means and what it entails. And what we don't know is somehow scarier than that. The what ifs can take over, right? Don't be scared of those what ifs, chat. Don't let them rule your life. Be mindful, you know, be cautious. All right. Be smart about decisions that you try to make, but don't wait for the perfect moment. Don't wait for the perfect opportunity or the perfect foolproof, fail-proof scenario. Because more often than not in this life, we just got to work with what we got in the moment. And all that we can do is prepare as best as we can. And, you know, like just roll with it. Just roll with it. Take a shot on yourself. You deserve it. All right, we got another question of the day. This one coming from Dark Reaper 814, and I know that we're back on time a little bit, but I want to make sure that we do get to everybody's questions. The last stream we ended up skipping, and I feel a little bit bad about that. I don't like leaving people hanging like that, so I apologize for my past me, who didn't read out and respond to all your questions of the day from the last stream. Oh, Clyde, you're so sweet. You're right. I did. You know, I deserve a little clap on the back, too. Thank you. I appreciate you. Leveling up your discomfort resistance is not the most ideal way to live. Dude. But you can, how you use it though. How you use it is everything. How you use that discomfort resistance is everything. Reaps answered the question today saying, your friends are your power. Be you and don't let anyone snuff your light out. You're going to be okay and you are supported. Yeah, man. For real. For real. Be like Sora. That's awesome. Yeah, I know how that is too. Like, I mean, I've been there in my life where I've been like, there are people that I love and that I care about, and I'm like, the way that I have their best interests at heart is probably the same way that they feel about me, and that's not always been the case, right? Sometimes people got their own thing going on, and there's something that I was doing in my life that didn't make them happy in some way, and they wanted to change that, and I changed myself as a result, you know? How many of us have been in that situation? You ever changed yourself for somebody else when they, in retrospect, weren't as interested in you being happy with your authentic self? More so being more suitable to be in their life. Anybody been there? It's tough, right? It's tough. Don't let those people snuff your light out, okay? Care about people, but also, you know, let it be give and take. Let it be give and take. Care about them as much as they care about you, and care about them as much as you would want to be cared about as well, but don't let people take from you things that you don't want to give, you know? And if there's things that you feel like you need to give that you don't want to give, find out why you don't want to give it and then work through that. But be true to yourself. No matter what you do, be true to yourself. Reaps, I love it, man. Thank you for your response. Your friends are your power. Good stuff, guys. Good stuff. I don't know about you all, but every time we get into conversations like this, it just makes me so happy to be here.
My heart may be weak. It's not alone. It's grown with each new experience, and it's found a home with all the friends I've made.
Yeah, man. Sure has. I know Kingdom Hearts is cheesy, okay? But it's cheese worth eating, all right? It's like sharp cheddar, okay? You can put that on almost anything, all right? Doesn't mean it's always gonna go down nice. Doesn't mean you're always gonna want people watching you eating it, or being around after you eat it. Kingdom Hearts make you cry, okay? But it's cheese worth consuming, my friends. Eat it all day, every day. Yes, cheese. Cheese fans in here. I like to see it. Oh, man. All right, we're going to get to, I want to read a couple of your comments here just before we move into Fall Guys. I know we're a bit behind on the game, but we're going to dive into that first thing today before our trivia. We might start trivia just a few minutes late, okay? But we'll try to be on time as much as we can. Chameleon Karma says, just so some of you know, these answers are helpful. I'm planning to move out hopefully next year, and some of your answers are super helpful. That's what I'm talking about. Thank you for saying that, Karma. I mean, I talk about it all the time, but like sometimes you need to hear it from someone else. You need to hear it from someone else. I get up here, I get on my soapbox. I say a bunch of stuff, and you guys are used to me saying it. But it's true. You know, the stuff that we talk about here benefits each other. The stories that you share, even if nobody says anything in response to it, we're reading it, we're experiencing it. You're literally becoming a part of somebody else's story by sharing yours. And that is valuable. That is so important. So what Chameleon is saying here is just proof of that. You know, he might be saying it out loud, but everybody else who's not saying it out loud is probably feeling the same ways. So keep doing what you're doing, and know that you're helping the world be better just by being here and talking the way that you do. It's great. How simple is that? All you gotta do is be yourself in a place, and you benefit other people. It's so cool. All right, I'm loading up Fall Guys, which I didn't realize I'd been playing the PS4 version this whole time. I don't know if a PS5 version has existed this whole time or if it just came out recently or what, but like I upgraded today. And I'm excited about that because I like when things are snappy and everything loads so much faster on this current generation of gaming than the previous one. I like how like that has been the big upgrade this generation compared to last console generation. It's not, I mean, the graphics and the fidelity have improved, but like not as drastically as, you know, between previous generations. But like the load times and like the amount of stuff that can happen on screen at the same time is like leaps and bounds above what the previous console generation was. And I freaking love that. It makes it so hard to go back to retro though, dude. Waiting for load screens is agonizing now because I'm used to this. It's wild. Chameleon said, I just noticed that most people answer to QOTD with !A. Would it be easier if I do that instead of QOTD? Yeah, Karma. Yeah, and it's part of, I'm trying to get people over on this now because if you type in !A, what it does is it actually has the bot log your response to a private channel on our Discord server that myself and the mods can see so that we can see everybody who's responded. So that if we miss somebody, like the chat is moving up too fast or something like that, we can always reference back to see it. So that just helps me to kind of keep track of it during the show. So I encourage everyone to use the A command whenever they're responding to the question of the day. I've got a reminder there at the end of your QOD command now. You'll see it there like after the question. It'll always be there. So if you forget or something like that, then you can reference that. But encourage new users who come in to answer the question of the day that way. Remind each other. The keepers will help remind us all too. But yeah, try to do that from now on. It'll help us stay on top of it so nobody's response get missed. Hero says, being myself is indeed quite nice. I usually set up a persona in other streams. I do that a lot too, Hero. I do that in a lot of places in my life. But various communities, that definitely happens on Twitch and in online spaces. This community here is far and away the easiest to be authentic out of any community I've ever been a part of. And it's not just because it's my community, it's because you guys are the way that you are and you are so kind to each other and that, therefore I feel comfortable being myself knowing that I'm going to get that same kind of treatment, you know. It's not always easy to find a place like that. But I appreciate it so much.